Howdy y'all, Stock Warden here, back with another video. In today's video, we're looking at SpaceX Corp and how their stock has been continually bringing in record lows since their opening back last month on June 12th. So as we might have been able to predict, the stock was originally opened at $150 a share, and it jumped up pretty good up into the low 200s a share, peaking out at just over $200 a share. If you go to the actual peak high, it ended at $225.64 a share. Since that peak on the third day of the stock's opening, it has just been a slow downhill trend from there. But even though it is continually falling to record lows, ending this past Friday at $123.99 a share, being just under or over $25 a share less than where they had originally opened. So, but even with that, there's still one analyst that has set a prediction for space exploration to hit $800 a stock. Or I'm sorry, a share. And let me break that down for you in today's video. So, but first, we're going to kind of go into how the stock has started. With it plunging to this record low, it has wiped out more than $1 trillion in market value as the enthusiasm that fueled its post-IPO rally faded. So the stock ended, like what we were saying, down 45% from its all-time high. So despite the sharp sell-off, it's still predicted that this is going to be crazy from Raymond James. So that is who the Wall Street Bank is taking a stance on the most bullish for SpaceX. So in a note that Brian, excuse me for how I pronounce this, Gusale, initiated the company with a strong buy rating and a target of $800. So if that was to happen and SpaceX hit $800 a share, it would bring its market cap to over $10 trillion. And they even argued the fact that SpaceX's Starship will create new markets if it achieves full and rapid reusability. So some of the potential use cases will be massive satellite deployments, space-based infrastructure, as well as space manufacturing. So then he also pointed to Starlink's role in communications and its rapid revenue growth that's going to end up hitting $837 billion by 2031. So with that, other analysts have a bullish outlook for the company, where like Morgan Stanley has a target of 225, Needham boosted the price from 200 to 225, and Evercore ISI has a target of 230, while Canaccord Genuity believes the stock will end up hitting 246, just below 250. So there's still a lot of bullish estimates that are looking through Wall Street. I mean, with all of the different analysts and the direction of this company, with the positive and negatives of how easy this stock can slide up and down, the volatility is still extremely present for this stock. So, but also book running banks like Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Bank of America, and JP Morgan have all placed a buy rating, and then a Deutsche Bank, which has a target of 225, also wrote in a specific article stating that SpaceX is the apex of civilizational ambition, oftentimes expressed in steel and fire, bending the arc of history. So that still goes to show that a lot of people are still rooting for the stock, and a lot of analysts are pushing for this company as well to be able to well over exceed where it currently is today. So, and if you were to go from 123 from where we ended last week up into the 255, then you're looking at a 100% stock increase alone just on the statement of what their target is. But as everybody typically would understand, once they have a target set, typically the target is always achieved and surpassed. So that's still going to end up bringing in some comfort to people that might be a little bit under on SpaceX right now, hoping for a swift recovery and a bounce back. So for me, in my opinion, I believe that holding on at this point with the trend that it's going down pretty steady. It's not bouncing too far down. So hopefully in the near future, once we get a lot of their financial analysis coming in, along with the new launch that they have rescheduled and set for Thursday, that the stock will start trending back in a bullish manner. So, but SpaceX will likely continue to remain under pressure as investors wait for its first earnings as a public company. So while the date has not been announced yet, chances are that the numbers are going to come out around August 17th or hopefully sooner. So these results are going to end up providing more information about its business, including its revenue growth and cash burn. So its most recent results showed that revenues jumped to $4.6 billion in the first quarter from $4.06 billion in Q1 of 25. So, but it also made a net loss of over $4 billion as well. So estimates are that the upcoming earning results will show that its revenue has jumped to $6.87 billion in the second quarter. It is then expected to jump up to $12 billion in the third quarter. Helped by its data center business, it has reached major deals with companies like Alphabet, Anthropic, and Reflection AI. Therefore, as with many other IPOs, chances are that the stock will be highly volatile as traders wait for more details from its financial results. So, in other words, meaning that the stock is still going to continue bouncing until it starts to see a little bit of a more steady pace, which I honestly don't believe the stock is going to show anything less volatile than current standpoints until at least the turn of the year. Once they get some more of their starships launched, they get more of their financials behind them, and they also get a little bit more built into the stock market itself, where they start building more long-term shareholders than a lot of short-term sell-offs and hopes and dreamers, I guess you could call them. So, but with that, Elon Musk's SpaceX is also in talks to supply the Pentagon with computing power. So, and that'll also come from all the billions of dollars that it's spending to run the AI models for their data centers. And then once they end up moving their Starship, whenever they're able to launch it and come back again for it to be reusable yet again, then that's just yet another huge stake that this company is going to make, to where it'll make it look a lot more attractive to hold a stake in this company. But as it stands for right now, that is all that I have on SpaceX. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope y'all were able to get a little bit more information on what's going on with SpaceX from the direction that the stock is heading in now to hopefully where the stock will be heading into the future. So, with all that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. So y'all come back now, you hear?